Well, real pleasure to join you all this afternoon. I am going to kind of get through some of the key points on this because obviously you'd have heard from the last two speakers a little bit of general around, why this support program exists. A beautiful piece of support to kind of really empower and help to grow the many social enterprises, social economy organisations we have across the West Midlands. So we're super excited to be part of it and tell you a little bit about who we are first and then take you straight into it. So my name is Daniel Evans, Chief Executive here at BEC. I do a number of different roles as well. So I'm also on the board of directors for the National Enterprise Network, where we kind of work directly with Department for Business and Trade, other parts of government as well, to kind of provide a bit of a link between, organisations like ours, social enterprises, whoever it is, and the government, tell them kind of what's going on, what's happening. Please listen to us and give a bit of further support. The other thing I was going to kind of mention on that is that I've been featured as well on the Social Entrepreneurs Index for the past two editions, which is a list of some of the UK's leading social entrepreneurs, which is always good to highlight. So I come at this program with lived experience myself as a social entrepreneur, somebody that's running and has grown a social enterprise as well. Next slide. So we at BEC, or formerly Birmingham Enterprise Community, are a not-for-profit CIC, so set up as an organisation to support individuals looking to start and grow businesses and other types of organisations. So really, we're here to do two things. We're here to help you kind of to simplify the journey and to help you make progress quicker. So to take bigger leaps with fewer steps, to clear up what always feels like a bit of a kind of complicated journey. We want to make sure that we use that knowledge, the skills, experience that we and our associates have to make that journey much easier for you all. Next slide. We've been around for 5 years, so we're a relatively young organisation compared to quite a few in the business support sector, but we've accomplished a hell of a lot in that kind of time. So we've worked with around 2,200 different organisations through a range of events, through a range of programmes, through a range of business support, coaching, mentoring services to help them really move forward, and all that focus on kind of growth and development, both at that startup concept stage. So, people start with us and walk in through that door when all they have is an idea and nothing more. And for us, it's about laying those foundations to help them keep building on that for many years to come. Next slide. So as has been mentioned, we are part of this West Midlands Social Economy Growth Programme, really a set of activities designed to help us all help you move businesses forward, or social economy organisations forward. We're focusing on a couple of lots in particular, working hand in hand with our partners of Enterprise Nation. Enterprise Nation being one of the UK's leading business support organisations. I think what we've developed together is really a perfect blend of their wealth of experience and resource at a national level, combined with our expertise at the West Midlands, of being a West Midlands based organisation, but also our expertise within the social economy as people that have built and developed and supported many social enterprises. So I'm going to start with this first one, which is the Start Your Growth Journey programme. Tell you a little bit about what's included, tell you a little bit about our programme criteria, and then we'll move on to the next one. So this Start Your Growth Journey programme really is for early stage social economy organisations to help them really build the fundamentals to start that journey of growing and developing the organisation. So I'm going to start with the criteria first. So social economy organisation, and as would have been mentioned in the last couple of presentations, these are organisations that are set up not for personal profit. So you could be CIC, you could be a CIO, you could be a cooperative, any sort of structure. It really doesn't matter to us if the purpose is for community good and a social mission. That fits the bill for us. Sorry, just keep on that slide. Yeah. No, one back. There we go. In terms of income, we're looking for organisations that are of an income of around 50 to 50K. So not nothing, but relatively early stage. And this doesn't have to necessarily be trading income. This could be money that's coming from grants and other sources as well. And I will highlight that there is flexibility within that. So if you came to us and you said, to date, we've done 12K, I'm not quite at that 15K. For us, the main factor is, are you ready to grow this organization? If we feel that you're ready and you're in the right place to do it, we've been given the ability from the combined authority to be able to be flexible with that entry target into it. In terms of what the program consists of, so we've set up 9 kind of virtually expert-led sessions on a range of key topics. So these are looking at your business model. These are looking at how you measure your social impact. These are looking at how you get started with kind of having volunteers and getting the most out of the volunteers, and a variety of other topics. One of the things that we recognize is that when it comes to social economy organizations, you guys are the experts within your space. You know, you've started these organizations either because of a lived experience with the problem that you're trying to solve, or through passion and through a real desire to make an impact in your community. You probably haven't come into it as somebody with a strong set of commercial skills or business skills, and you didn't really start it to have to do spreadsheets and do other stuff like that. That's the area that we could come in and help. We can come in and all those headaches around, you know, how do I build my business model? What have I got to do in terms of marketing? We want to help you understand that area. Like with the other programs, this one does come with a grant, but the difference is with this program is the £2,000 grant per organisation is purely on attendance. So you need to attend 80% of the program, and you will unlock that £2,000 grant, which is very generous for an attendance grant. It's not match funded, so you're not expected to put any funds in as well. So that's really a great incentive, as well as all the support to come and engage. One of the things that we've dropped into there is some drop-in support clinics as well. So there is a kind of second stage to all these programs with School of Social Entrepreneurs, where you'll be entitled to one-to-one business support and mentoring. However, we kind of wanted to start that a little bit earlier on as well, to give some capacity to pick apart some of the things that we cover in sessions. And the final thing on this program, one that really excites me, is our community meetups as well. So we'll be holding monthly community meetups. These will rotate around key locations. So we won't just be in Birmingham, we won't just be in Coventry. We'll be coming out to places like Sandwell, to Warsaw, to Solihull. We'll be rotating this around a series of locations. The other thing I will mention with this is those community meetups aren't just limited to the people on this program. That will be open up to any social economy organisation in the region, no matter the stage, no matter what size, that is open. There was a point raised earlier around that early stage support. Would say that, you know, that certainly needs to be addressed and built up, but a really good starting point for anybody that's on the call that's maybe pre-incomes or pre-start that is looking for support. Those community meetups are going to be where you meet people that are maybe slightly further in the journey than you, that you can learn from, connections that you can collaborate with. The people that we're inviting to come in and speak on those as well are people that have been there, they've done it, they've got plenty to teach you as well. So that's definitely our way of helping to give some support to those early stage organisations that aren't quite at the income thresholds that are needed for the programme. Next slide, please. The one I will just mention with that, obviously, is the West Midlands-based criteria, but that is kind of wide scope as well. So not just necessarily within the West Midlands Combined Authority, but if you sit just outside of that, we again have some permission to be flexible with that, which is always great. The second program that we're doing for the Combined Authority on this is our social investment program. So this is a program specifically focused on gaining social investment. So historically, West Midlands-based social enterprises have received less social investment than the average of other locations in the UK. And this program is really about supporting organisations to understand social investment, understand why they might want to bring it in, and understanding how they then go about that. So again, a range of sessions around understanding those sorts of issues. Who are providers, what types, there's of course grant funding that people have heard of, but also the social investment that comes in the form of loans and in terms of other mechanisms as well. So understanding what they're for, why you might use them, and how to access them. The other exciting thing as part of that is a kind of meet the provider opportunities. So we'll be kind of bringing in providers of social investment, allowing you to get some face time with them and connect with them on a one-to-one to ask them your kind of questions around what they're able to offer. That also has the support, the kind of one-to-one support through those periods, and of course the community meetups playing a big part in that as well. Unlike the other programs, this is not stage specific in that there's no income thresholds for this program. So you could be early stage and come onto this. You could be, one of the businesses on the other programs. You can also do this program in addition to one of the other programs as well. They're going to be slightly staggered, so this will kind of happen after the main bulk of activity of the first programs as well. But again, social economy organisations that are West Midlands based as well. Next slide. Then the final program that we're going to be running as part of this is a getting ready for public procurement. So this is a program specifically focused on how you win contracts in the public sector. Similar format to the last program, that we're going to have a range of expert-led sessions about key topics. So where do I find about opportunities for bids and tenders? How do I actually put a bid together? What do I need to write? What are the common mistakes that people make? How long do I then wait for that to come back? Then also some support on, okay, if I win a contract, what happens next? How do I successfully deliver that contract and maximize my chances of winning something again in the future? A really big important point to highlight with that program is there is this new Procurement Act coming in. So there's some big changes coming to public sector procurement in the UK. We're actually working with the small Crown representative, who is the kind of advisor to the Cabinet Office on those changes, who will be sharing and coming in to talk about the new changes and what that means for your organisations and how you can make the most of that. Supported by the Meet the Buyer opportunities, so bringing in some of the key organisations in the region that are looking to buy services from local central social economy businesses, one-to-ones, community meetups, and again, like the other one, no income thresholds on this as well. So early stage, later stage, and I would say that there's different range. You could be quite an early stage and have opportunities for contracts, opportunities to get into procurement, as well as later stage organisations as well. Okay, and that's it. They're the 3 programs. If there's of course any questions, I'll be happy to take them now.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. That was very detailed and informative. Any key questions for Daniel? David?
Yeah, just a quick question. It might be coming up, but it's there's a mentoring program that's attached, I believe, to these particular support programs, and I'm not sure whether that's been explained or going to be explained in a bit, and whether it is one that only those who access the programs can go on, or whether it's broader than that. So that's my question, really.
Sure. Before I answer that, I assume we've not got School for Social Entrepreneurs on the call.
No, we haven't.
No. Okay. So yeah, so that program of one-to-one support is for the businesses that have done either the first program I mentioned, the Start Your Growth Journey, or one of Aston or localities programs. So they'll do the main program with us. They'll then be passed across to School for Social Entrepreneurs towards the end of the year for kind of follow-up one-to-one support.
Yeah, so we did invite them, but that's exactly what they said in response, that
Sure.
their program will kind of wait till kind of go to individuals or the business they've gone through your programs, and then they will start that. So this
so there won't be that's it. There won't be an open recruitment for that one, but of course, plenty of support packed into these other ones.
Yeah. Suzanne.
Hi, thank you. Daniel, is this a rolling programme? Because I'm aware that obviously it looks brilliant. It sounds exactly what I would like. But I'm literally just starting out now. So I'm not going to be in those brackets for criteria. So is it just this 12 months and there are set dates, or is this a rolling programme that we can look out for as we start to bring income in and apply?
So where this is at the moment, obviously the ultimate answer will come through the combined authority, is part of this work that's been done. So big mission to double the size of the social economy. Charles Rapton, who's a social enterprise lead for the combined authority, currently sat just upstairs here. He's obviously on a one-man mission to make sure that this isn't a one-off. So this is kind of the first part of work of what should be a lot of activity in this space going forward. Almost, and without speaking for him, this is slightly a kind of pilot program that, if this is successful and shows impact, I think the intentions will be to look at how this goes and runs forward. And it's key, isn't it? Because there's no point kind of doing a program, having a one-off and expecting it to have results. It's got to be a sustained activity. So certainly, I'm sure Kashif and Kate would agree. We'd love to keep doing it and keep these things going. We'll obviously do everything we can in terms of delivering strong programs, get good results, and give ourselves the best chances of doing this again in the future.
And do we, sorry, the information about how to apply for these, is that coming out in the presentations that are being posted, or is there another link?
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be another link, and if it's not already been shared, we can share it across. So as well as the kind of applications on our own websites for each of the programs, the combined authority also have their own landing page specifically about the social economy support programs. And there's a list not just of these programs, but other activities and organisations that could provide relevant support.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we will circulate that link as well as these presentations. There is a landing page of West Midlands Combined Authorities website. Any other questions for Daniel? Daniel, I had one question. I think it's the public procurement and the support. Is that something which is going to be for social enterprises who are working and delivering some services, or is that private, or could it be a mix of them? Because one of the challenge we have come across previously is that even though the social enterprises, they're delivering excellent kind of like provision, but they just don't have the infrastructure to go through the due diligence. So are there any thoughts and ideas about how they maybe an umbrella organization, or how could we create a structure for those smaller kind of social enterprises so that they could become part of that procurement structure?
Yeah, completely agree. Huge challenge. This program is specifically for social economy organizations, which is great because that's how we kind of get there first. This is specifically a program about, if you're a social economy organization, social enterprise that wants to win contracts, how do we do it? Because as an organization that's bidding for contracts that goes up against commercial organizations or for-profit organizations, there's difficulties to it. So one is the specific support. Secondly is the meet the buyer opportunities. So opportunities to sit down with people that you might bid into. The third, and I think really exciting for us, is that engagement that we've had with the Crown representative about the new procurement bill. Because what we want to do is give you a leg up that when that comes into force later in the year, you're not kind of learning the set of rules for how procurement works now, and then it all changes at the end of the year, and then you got to do that. We want to get you one step ahead of the other organisations who are still working off the kind of old framework. There are some changes in that which are designed to support social economy organisations to have a better chance of going after this. Some people are obviously a bit mixed in terms of the impact that it'll actually have, but there is changes there and we want to help you understand them. And the final point I'll just make is the community kind of meetups and those opportunities. One of the ways that we've gone about it and that we would encourage and share consortiums working in collaboration, so bidding together with other organisations, because you're right, if we've got stretched resources and you have as well, actually maybe if we work together we can share the workload. So encourage people at those meetups to link together, to build connections that they might go after work together with.
Thank you. David.
I was going to make a point similar to John's last bit there, which was in a previous life, I obviously tendered for lots of things, but we set up a consortia to enable the sector to reach into procurement opportunities around employability and employment training. Because whilst I appreciate there are sometimes some quite small contracts for small organisations, many times they are quite large contracts and need collaboration. And what we've found is the sector is quite often seen as a bit of bid candy. So they're written into bids and then they don't get very much out of them from private sector organisations, which is fairly normal. So I think it is that point about developing relationships and partnerships and starting to grow your network in that way and the people that you work with and getting an equal partnership going, if you like, so that the resources that are coming in and the support you're putting in does actually come to you. But that might be either a consortia, it might be a lead and accountable body, it might be all sorts, but it is about having those conversations, and don't underestimate the amount of time those take. And that is possibly the problem that we find quite often. It's the length of time that you take, and then you get a tender opportunity and you've got 3 months to sort it out. Yeah. So I'm sure, as we know, as these particular business support programs were released for tender, there was quite a lot of phone calls going on with lots of different people.
Thank you, David. Carol, is there anything you would like to add? Because you normally work with like group of social enterprises, and these have been some of the challenges they've been facing previously, haven't they?
Yeah, I think it's great to see, you know, the support that's available. I suppose, and yeah, it's good to see that those things are going to be embedded. I think the crunch point is the procurement, and the cake needs to be cut differently, and that's the challenge for commissioners, and that's why, you know, for years there are lots of social enterprises that I know, and you know, they can come together and do partnership bids, but it's just, there needs to be some kind of infrastructure support around that. For, you know, it'd be nice to have like a one-stop shop. So you've got an accounting, you've got somebody who can write bids, you've got, that's the model I think very small micro enterprises need, and it's not always there. So you do your training, but you're back to, you know, so I think it's that I'm really interested in how a wider network of support can coalesce and offer these kind of pathways and services together, because when people are starting out on the journey, they don't often realize the things what they actually need to, you know, to comply. And I think some of that could be started much sooner on. But yeah, I mean, it's good that there's going to be program, but it's when people go in for procurement, and we still have this model where you've got these £1 million, you know, contracts are, I suppose they are reducing in size, but it's still an area of expertise, which often when you're a small one-man band, you haven't got the capacity or time. So
completely agree.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you. Sharon, I just wanted to kind of like get your views on board. I know you're going through that kind of phase where you're looking at your expansion of your organization, and you registered charity. So, you know, some of the programs, maybe Aston University or some of the other programs might be more suitable for your work. Does this session give you enough to kind of like go back with and maybe like, you know, explore which one is going to be the suitable one for yourself, and then, you know, contact the relevant organization or the support provider? You're on mute, Sharon. Sorry, you're on mute.
All right. I think you said that you was going to be sending out a contact sheet later. So absolutely, yeah, I have taken some notes, but some of the slides flashed off too quick for me to capture all the information. So yeah, I look forward to that. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, this is the first and only time in 14 years I've ever come across anything that's this type of support or potential funding a bit more statutory. We've all our income is grant funding, which, I mean, it's not a massive amount, but it amounts to about £120,000 a year from lots of different small pots of funding to keep us going. But we're going to need to have much bigger pots now, and some supports around that, and also the actual physical move and how we're going to go from where we are now to such a big move. This is going to be really helpful. It's really good timing.
Perfect.
So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Any other questions? We're going to be moving on to business support, which is not specifically for social enterprise, and that's the element John is going to be covering. But before I move on to that, can I just quickly check the deadlines for so for Aston University, the program, is there a particular deadline we need to be kind of like making sure that we inform everyone about, Kate?
For Accelerate, it is in April, and for the Grow program, it is in May. I don't have exact dates off the top of my head, I'm sorry, but I'll make sure I'll get them over to you this afternoon, so you can share them with the slides, or I'll send you an updated slide deck if you prefer.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Kate. And Kashif, localities program deadlines?
7th of April.
7th of April. And the last one, Daniel, what are the deadlines, if there are any?
The first program, the Start Your Growth program is, oh, hello.
Hi, yeah,
you
you
hear me
froze
now?
there for a bit. Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you moving around. Maybe you're trying to get a better
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
okay.
connection.
I'm back. So the Start Your Growth Journey program closes for applications on the 22nd of March at noon. The procurement program and the social investment program, they open for applications the week after, so from the 25th of March until late April. I'll get the specific date for the close of that.
Perfect. And do the individuals get support while, when they need to complete the application form? Because one of the things that's been mentioned is that sometimes it can be quite a daunting experience if individuals haven't worked on an application form before. Maybe, Daniel, I'm not sure. I've only seen the startup program application form or expression of interest, which looked quite straightforward. But if there was someone who needed that kind of support, can they call or can they get in touch with yourselves?
Yeah. So the application for R1 is very simple. But if you have any questions, there is contact details on the site, either via email, or you are welcome to call us directly at BEC.
Perfect. And locality, Kashif, I had a brief look at the localities form yesterday, which is asking for a bit more information. Again, similar question. If anybody needed that kind of like a little bit of hand holding or clarification, can they get in touch with officers or someone?
Of course, yeah. So we've got the contact email address on the presentation. It's on the website as well. So if anyone's got any queries and any kind of support they need, feel free to reach out.
Perfect. And lastly, Kate, I assume that would be similar kind of process for yourselves as well, if anybody needs that.
Yes, of course. Happy to help anyone as they need. I know the application it's not a simple one for our program. It's a detailed online application. We do ask the business leaders like why they want to do the program, a little bit of sort of information about their customers. We ask for their finance details. So we do encourage people. I mean, we generally pick the phone up to any inquiry anyway, so we would automatically talk to them, but really happy to help people, can sit on the phone with them and talk them through it, can invite them in. And we've got a central Birmingham location, or wherever we are. If we're talking to them at an event, we can help them. So yeah, really happy to support that as much as we possibly can, of course.
And with each one of those applications, I think there's a specific number which has been stipulated by West Midlands Combined Authority that you can work with 30, 40, 47. They've specified a number, haven't they? And these numbers are going to be for across the geography, as in the whole region, not necessarily just specific to Birmingham. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah, it's across the West Midlands, and they have asked us to sort of spread the allocation of resources across the sort of 7 local authorities. So we are going to sort of monitor applications, and if we don't have enough from Solihull or from wherever it may be, we'll pick up marketing sort of in that area.